Hi guys, so ahead of the release of the proposal by the European Union on how to improve the implementation of the Northern Ireland Protocol, Lord Frost, the Brexit Minister, suggested that the problem with the protocol is the ECJ, the European Court of Justice. He also said that EU law being applied in Northern Ireland without any democratic process is a problem. Of course, he brings up the Good Friday Agreement, which he has been happy to undermine with his boss Boris Johnson, and for both of them to play political games and finger pointing. Anyway, let's hear what he had to say ahead of the European Commission's press conference.
The problem with the protocol at the moment is that EU law is with the ECJ as the enforcer of it is applied in Northern Ireland without any sort of democratic process. So that, I think, has to change.
Okay, why did you sign up to that? You know, he doesn't like talking about the past. Okay, well then let's leave the past. Let's look at the present. The European Union, it seems, we don't have it official yet when I was making this video, but it seems the European Union want to engage with parties in Northern Ireland, political parties there, and have them be part of the process of the implementation of the Northern Ireland Protocol. Now, Lord Frost has already dismissed this, has said, no, that's not going to take place. So how can he, and he did this a few weeks ago in the House of Lords, he said, no, the implementation of the protocol is the job of the British government, not parties in Northern Ireland. Now, the EU has said, we want to engage with parties in Northern Ireland, have them be part of the implementation of the protocol. Lord Frost dismissed that recently, and now he's saying, how dare the EU apply laws in Northern Ireland without the consent of the people of Northern Ireland? Yes, but if the EU is asking, yes, let's engage with the people of Northern Ireland, why do you have a problem with that?
If we're to find governance arrangements that people can live with, and a protocol that genuinely has consent across communities in Northern Ireland. So
the protocol does have consent across communities in Northern Ireland. It seems that some politicians are trying to make hay out of this, are trying to turn it into political football. The DUP and unfortunately more moderate parties on the unionist side see it as a goal, see it as a tool they can use to improve their position politically. If we're all against the protocol, then we don't split the vote. And that seems to be what's happening between the two main parties, the DUP and the UUP. The UUP are the more moderate, and instead of being principled and say, yes, the protocol, you know, we're not happy with the protocol, but it's the best game in town. No, they're throwing their lot behind the DUP here.
So we need to find arrangements in Northern Ireland that work to support the Good Friday Agreement, and that means all its dimensions, east-west, north-south. We're asking everyone to be flexible, find compromises, look at things in a different way.
Asking everyone. Who is everyone? Are you asking yourself this?
So as to work within this very delicate, sensitive political situation.
Now, of course, yesterday on Tuesday, Dominic Cummings, Rasputin, Boris Johnson's former chief advisor, has come out and said that it was never the intention of the British government to implement the Northern Ireland Protocol. So all of what Lord Frost is saying here means absolutely nothing. Now, Dominic Cummings could be lying. Dominic Cummings is a charlatan. So I don't trust Dominic Cummings. But if he has said that the British government has no intention of implementing the protocol, and we've heard from the likes of Brexit hardman Steve Baker, who said last year that, you know, we signed up to this because we were under the impression that Boris Johnson's not going to actually implement it, then who are we to trust? Who are we to believe? And not just us listening, but international parties, you know, the United States, the European Union, the people of Northern Ireland. Should they trust Boris Johnson? Should they trust Lord Frost? When they said, yes, we signed up to something and then they actually never meant to implement it. If Brexiteers are happy about this, but If Boris Johnson lies about this, then how can you be sure he won't lie about something else? Obviously, Boris Johnson lies about pretty much everything. And a small note here, which is very interesting, is Lord Frost delivered his speech in Lisbon. And of course, Lisbon, the Lisbon Treaty, and this is, a goldmine for Brexiteers. They love the idea of the Lisbon Treaty. They're fascinated by it. So I think this was an attempt to throw some red meat to Brexiteers. So we'll have to wait and see what the European Union come out with officially. They have moved. They are willing to cut up to 50% of the checks on goods moving from Great Britain into Northern Ireland. I think at the end of the day, the European Union realised that businesses in Northern Ireland are adapting, and trade between Great Britain and Northern Ireland is going to dry up, and it won't actually be necessary to carry out all of the checks. But let's see what happens today. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.